What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Skull Network. My name is Nick, and while not much news has been coming out leading up to the NFL draft, Tom Pelissero just dropped a little bit of a bomb that has some information surrounding the Minnesota Vikings. He recently posted on his Twitter as well as his account on NFL.com both a video and a story talking about some insider information that he got, talking about a couple teams that are considering trading up into the higher ranks of this upcoming draft on Thursday. And the Minnesota Vikings were included in this bit of information. And we're going to take a quick look at what he said. So, as we can see right here, Pelissero noted a couple of other teams making calls about potentially trading up into the top 10. Now, this article was specifically talking about the Patriots possibly trading up to get Justin Fields or something like that, but we're focusing on the Vikings. So as you can see, number 2 down here, right there, the Minnesota Vikings, who pick at number 14, could try to jump up if one of the top offensive tackles begins to slide into range. Now, obviously what this is talking about here is if the likes of Penei Sewell or Rashawn Slater fall far enough. Rick Spielman is apparently considering moving up to a higher spot from 14 to go and get one of these guys and try to solidify the offensive line a little bit more than it already is. And this is big surprising news considering the history and what Rick Spielman generally tends to do in these drafts. If anything, we expect him to trade back in the first round and obviously later in the draft, pick up a bunch of 6th and 7th round picks and almost somewhat throw away the draft. But with these possible moves moving up into the top 10 range to get a top tier offensive lineman could spell very well. That is, obviously, if this happens. This is all hypothetical, and it's all possible that Penei Sewell and Rashawn Slater are gone by picks, pick 5 at Cincinnati and pick 7 or 8, going somewhere like Carolina for Rashawn Slater. But it surely would be interesting to see what would happen if one of those guys fell. Is Rick Spielman calling a bluff, or, there's no reason to, but what sort of capital would Rick Spielman be giving up to go and get a player like that? It really does, kind of tickle your fancy and make you wonder. But that's really all that's out there about this right now. I mean, it's literally all speculation at this point. Tom Pelissero kind of just put this out there to get people talking about it and thinking. But the question here is, guys, what do you think is going to happen? If one of these major offensive linemen does end up falling, do you think Rick Spielman really has the balls to go up and give up future draft capital and a major amount of it to try and solidify this offensive line? I personally see it as being something very possible. Obviously, we don't have the most time with Kirk Cousins left, and he wants to try and convince everybody in the organization and all the fans that it was a good idea to go and get Kirk. And giving him an offensive line is going to be the quickest way to succeed. And hopefully that succeeding would lead to some sort of Super Bowl berth. Hopefully win. Obviously, these are big expectations just based on some speculation from, one guy. Obviously, he's very reputable, but it's a really interesting situation nonetheless. But again, what do you guys think could happen here? And that is going to wrap up this video, guys. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the button down below to subscribe. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like as well. If you want to share this video and this news and spark some more conversation with anyone that you know, you can do that with anyone on any platform. And if it's a crack dealer in the corner, that's your guys' best option. You guys already know. My name is Nick, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Adios.